Hey everyone, this is the video of subject Legal Studies, class 12, unit 4, that is Human Rights in India, and the chapter is Complaint Mechanism of Quasi judicial bodies. Before dealing with further, we will be dealing with what is the meaning of quasi judicial bodies. Right? The quasi judicial bodies typically are the public administrative agencies under the realm of the extensive branch, and they are largely bestowed with the authority similar to courts. These bodies have the power to resolve the disputes and also impose the punishments. For example, the quasi-judicial institutions include the National and State Human Rights Commissions, Central and State Information Commissions, Consumer Redressal Forums and Commissions, Income Tax Tribunals, and so on. The most fundamental ones are the National Human Rights Institutions, and that include the National Human Rights Commission, National Commission for Minorities, the National Commission for Women, National Commission for Scheduled Castes, and the National Commission for the Scheduled Tribes. Now let's discuss them each one in brief. See, first is National Human Rights Commission. The specific legislation, which is called the Protection of Human Rights Act, was enacted by the Parliament in 1993. Which in turn established the National Human Rights Commission as an independent institution with the powers and functions to promote and protect the human rights. This act also provides for the constitution of the state Human Rights Commission at the state levels for access to complaint mechanism at the state levels. Now the National Commission is headed by the chairperson, who is the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and the other members of the commission are one member who is a former judge of the Supreme Court, another member who is the present or the former Chief Justice of the High Court, and the two other members with knowledge or experience in matters relating to human rights. Besides, there is a Secretary General who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, who largely discharges administrative duties of the Commission. This is about National Human Rights Commission. What are its powers and functions of the Commission? It has the following functions. The first is inquiry and investigation. One of the Commission's roles is to conduct inquiry and investigation into the alleged violations of the human rights or abetment, aiding or supporting or negligence in the prevention of such violation by the public servant. The Commission has the powers of the civil court, and in conducting an inquiry or investigation, it can utilize various powers, including the following. Now, what are the powers? Summon and enforce the attendance of witnesses and examine them on oath. Secondly, ask for the production of any document before itself to receive evidence on affidavits. Request public record from any court or office and to examine witness or documents. Next is intervening in the court proceedings. The Commission may, with the permission of the court, intervene in the court proceedings concerning human rights violation. For example, we can say the Commission can request the Supreme Court to transfer the pending riot cases out of state in which the riots has happened, to ensure the witnesses are not threatened in any manner and the evidences are not damaged. Next is the inspection of jails. The Commission may also visit any jail or any government institutions where prisoners are lodged or detained to study the living conditions of the inmates and make recommendations to the government. Next is awareness and the sensitization. The Commission can review various human rights laws either in the Constitution or statutes and recommend measures to the government for their effective implementation. Next is the complaint mechanism. The complaint mechanism procedure with the National Human Rights Commission is easy and straightforward. Anyone aggrieved of their human rights violation or their representatives can lodge a complaint with Commission in any language. Complaint can be filed online on the website, that is www.nhrc.nic.in, or by a paper petition using the complaint format which is provided on the website. Thirdly, the complaint can be sent either by post or by a fax or through email. The fourth here comes is there is no fee for filing a complaint. The complaint must be filed within a year on the occurrence of the human rights violation. And lastly, once the complaint is pending before the Commission, one can check the status of the complaints online. Remember the website. National Commission for Minorities. National Commission for Minorities Act 1992 was enacted by the Parliament to create the National Commission for Minorities to safeguard the human rights of minorities, including protection against inequality and discrimination. Minorities' human rights are enshrined in the Constitution as well as other laws which are enacted by Parliament and state legislatures. The minorities here, they are referred to the religious minorities of Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Buddhist, Jains and Parsis. Many states also have instituted the State Minorities Commissions and they are located in the respective state capitals. Persons who belong to minority communities, they can approach the state as well as the National Minorities Commission for remedying the human rights violation. The National Minorities Commissions consist of a chairperson, a vice chairperson and 5 other members who are nominated by the central government from amongst the minority communities who are the persons of eminence, ability and integrity. Next comes the National Commission for Women. In 1992, the National Commission for Women was established under the National Commission for Women's Act 1990. The commission consists of the chairperson and the 5 members who are nominated by the central government from amongst the persons of the ability, integrity and standing who have an experience in any of these areas, law or legislation, trade unions, management of industry, potential of women, women's voluntary organizations, including women activists, administration, economic development, health, education or social welfare. At least 1 member each belongs to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, communities, and the member secretary take care of the administrative matters. What are major functions? First is to investigate and examine the matters relating to safeguards which are provided for women under the Constitution and others laws. Second comes is to look into the complaints and also take the suo motu notice of matters on the deprivation of women's rights, non-implementation of laws required to achieve equality and development, and the non-compliance of policy decisions, guidelines or instructions pertaining to women welfare. Thirdly is to make the recommendations to the central and the states for the effective implementation of the safeguards for improving the conditions of women. Next is to review the provisions of the Constitution and other laws affecting women and make recommendations about the remedial legislative measures which are required to address the inadequacies or shortcomings in the laws. Next is to take up the cases with the appropriate authorities about violation of women, human rights as provided in the Constitution and other laws. The next comes is to participate and advise on the planning process of socio-economic development of women. Next comes is to evaluate the progress of the development of women under the union and any state. To inspect the jail, remand home, women's institutions or other places of the custody where women are kept as prisoners or otherwise they take up with the concerned authorities for the remedial actions and if found as necessary. To fund the litigation involving issues affecting the large body of women and lastly to make the periodical reports to the government on any matter pertaining to the women and in particular various difficulties under which women toil. The next one is the National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. Article 338 of the Constitution of India provides for establishing the special offer for the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes to investigate all the matters relating to the safeguards which are provided for the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes in the Constitution and report to the President. Remember Article 338. The 2 commissions, that is the National Commission for the Scheduled Caste and the National Commissions for the Scheduled Tribes, they were instituted in the fulfillment of Article 338 of Constitution to protect their human rights and prevent their exploitation and to encourage and defend their social, educational, economic and cultural securities as provided in Constitution and other legislations. Article 338. For example, the state provides reservation or affirmative action programs for the government jobs to backward classes like Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes who, because of the historical and continued disadvantages based on the caste status and otherwise have not been adequately represented in the services under the state. Example of special laws include the Protection of the Civil Rights Act 1955 and the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe, that is Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. Moreover, these commissions are independent or autonomous and transparent bodies that are created under the specific legislations to promote and protect the human rights For example, we can say the national and the state human rights commissions, which are governed by the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. National commissions have jurisdiction over the entire nation, and the parallel state commissions, it takes matters of the human rights violation from the respective states. So this is all for this chapter. Stay tuned and take care.